happy Friday morning. It's Friday, November 15, 2024. I'm Riley King, and welcome to Riley's Kingdom of News right here on WRMK News Radio. We got a jam-packed broadcast to get to on this Friday. It is Friday, November 15, 2024, so let's begin right now. First up, President-elect Donald Trump to nominate Robert F. Kennedy as Health and Human Services. Let's take a listen to that report from WMUR News 9.
Stop scrolling if your smile is suffering. Have you experienced any dental issues since starting Suboxone? Look, if you've been taking Suboxone and suddenly noticed...
We do have an update now on breaking news. President-elect Donald Trump has just confirmed that he will nominate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. as Secretary of Health and Human Services. The agency oversees everything from drug, vaccine, and food safety to medical research to Medicare and Medicaid. Kennedy has campaigned against immunizations and other public health measures like water fluoridation.
Okay, and there you go on that report. Tulsi Gabbard criticized Donald Trump's foreign policy during 2020 New Hampshire primary campaign. Let's take a listen to that report from WMUR News 9.
When Tulsi Gabbard ran for president in New Hampshire, she truly jumped in with both feet, plunging into frigid waters, snowboarding in the Mount Washington Valley, surfing in Northampton. She even lived here quietly just outside Manchester for several weeks. Her style and brand of politics attracted voters from across the ideological spectrum. As a 2024 Trump supporter and convert from Democrat to Republican, Gabbard is now the president-elect's pick to be Director of National Intelligence. But on the trail in New Hampshire, she was highly critical of Trump's handling of foreign policy. In a one-on-one interview in January 2020, she condemned the strike that killed Iranian General Qasem Soleimani.
Trump has committed an act of war. He has pushed our country into a state of war with Iran, a war that will prove to be far more devastating and costly than anything that we saw with the war in Iraq or the war in Afghanistan. It'll make those wars look like a picnic.
Would you characterize this as an assassination?
Yes.
Trump's tough stance on Iran was an issue for Gabbard from her very first trips to the Granite State.
It is unacceptable in my mind, the action that this Trump administration has taken in reneging and breaking our role in the Iran nuclear agreement when Iran is complying with the agreement.
Trump winning over former critics and bringing them into his orbit is nothing new. One thing he and Tulsi Gabbard have always shared in common is a disdain for the Washington establishment.
We see with these smear attacks, these allegations saying, hey, look, Tulsi Gabbard is a foreign agent, is a traitor to her country. They're doing it because I am calling out and trying to end the regime change wars.
Adam Sexton, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that report. Hey, if you're just tuning in, listening to Riley's Kingdom of News right here on WRMK News Radio, make sure you send in your thoughts and opinions on the stories that we air. You can talk about Robert F. Kennedy. We want to hear your thoughts and opinions on that and how he's going to be the Health and Human Service Secretary for the Trump administration, and also tell us about the Tulsi Gabbard criticizing Trump foreign policy in the 2020 New Hampshire primary. We want your thoughts and opinions on those. Head in and email in your answers right now at rknetwork1995@gmail.com. New leaders filling key roles in Concord as Republican grow state House majorities.
In the state Senate, a new president is taking the gavel. Senator Sharon Carson was the pick by the Republican majority that added 2 new senators on Election Day. Carson, a longtime Londonderry Republican, is known in Concord for a no-nonsense approach to politics and her work on public safety issues and DCYF reform. She takes over for outgoing Senate President Jeb Bradley, who is retiring. Filling Carson's current role as majority leader will be Senator Regina Birdsell of Hampstead. In the minority, Democratic leader Donna Susie Pelosi lost her re-election bid. Taking over that leadership role for the Democrats will be Senator Rebecca Perkins Quokka of Portsmouth, a champion of progressive causes on the Senate floor, who's worked across the aisle to pass legislation on housing policy. In the House, the gavel will stay in the hands of Speaker Sherman Packard, who is closing in on 4 decades of service representing Londonderry. Representative Jason Osborne of Auburn retains his role as Majority Leader. House Democrats did make some changes following Election Day losses. Representative Matt Wilhelm opted not to run for Minority Leader, instead throwing his support behind Representative Alexis Simpson of Exeter, who won a contested race today against 2 other candidates. With Governor-elect Kelly Ayotte on the way to the corner office, there are a lot of new leaders in powerful roles whose first big task will be passing a state budget. In Concord, Adam Sexton, WMUR, News Now.
Tonight, we could have a replacement.
Okay, and there you go on that report. Email us right now on your thoughts and opinions on that at rknetwork1995@gmail.com. Manchester Mayor nominates Assistant Police Chief Peter Marr to take over as the chief. Let's take a listen to that report from WMUR News 9.
For Manchester Police Chief Alan Aldenberg, Mayor Jay Ruway has nominated the Assistant Chief, Peter Marr, to take over the role. Marr is a 21-year veteran and has held multiple leadership positions inside Manchester PD. In a statement, Ruway said he has worked with Marr personally, calling him an outstanding and approachable professional.
Okay, and there you go on that report. Send in your thoughts and opinions on that. Email us at rknetwork1995@gmail.com. We want to hear from you right now. Volunteers collect holiday cards to send to the troops overseas. Let's take a listen to that report.
Tonight, there is some holiday cheer on its way to our troops.
The nonprofit Holiday Cards for Our Military collected close to 20,000 handcrafted letters to send to those currently overseas. Volunteers got together at Eversource in downtown Manchester to pack up the cards, which will go to 3 Navy ships picked by the group. It is a small gesture, they say, for the men and women in uniform who serve our country.
It's really not a lot of work for us, right, in the grand scheme of things. So, again, the most important thing is showing gratitude to the military folks that are serving our country.
Last year marked 1 million cards delivered. Now they're at 1.2 million and counting. Just an amazing effort there. And I know some folks even from our station were there helping to pack.
And Jen was saying, actually, World War II veterans were there as well. So incredible seeing them pay it forward, too. Really, really cool.
Okay, and there you go. Very cool, positive story right there. Republicans pick John Tuna to serve as Senate Majority Leader. Let's take a listen to that report from NBC News.
Peter, this comes as Republicans in the Senate just elected their new leader, John Thune. We just talked a moment ago about how important the Senate is right now in terms of its role to advise and consent and say yes or no to Trump nominations. What does this all mean?
It's a good question, Savannah. So South Dakota Senator John Thune, as you know, he's going to be the first new Republican Senate leader since Mitch McConnell, who held that position for nearly 2 decades. Thune beat out Texas Senator John Cornyn, also Florida Senator Rick Scott, who was viewed as the MAGA favorite here. Thune, by the way, he even rejected Trump's false election claims in 2020, but notably he has really worked to build his relationship with the president-elect. Just this week, he appeared open to Trump's demand that the Senate make what are called recess appointments for some cabinet picks that would basically avoid a Senate vote on some of them entirely. But for the conversation we've been having here this morning, Trump's latest polarizing picks are really going to put new pressure on Thune and Senate Republicans to decide whether those choices, who some Republicans have already expressed serious doubts about, go a step too far. Savannah.
All right, Peter Alexander at the White House, thank you.
Okay, and there you go on that report. Send in your thoughts and opinions on that. Email us at rknetwork1995@gmail.com. Hey, that does it for this Friday edition of Riley's Kingdom of News right here on WRMK News Radio. Thank you for tuning in and listening. Have a great Friday, everyone, and I'll talk to you all on Monday for another edition of Riley's Kingdom of News right here on WRMK News Radio. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye.